Shabbat shalom to the Lord keep us. Yeah. I hope you're having a well rested Sabbath. Give thanks to higher. Ooh, ooh. Give thanks to the Most High. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Shabbat shalom, family. Much love and respect to you all. It's going to come at you really quickly on the Sabbath day. Just looking through this book here. African Europeans. Obviously dodging the hijack that we're not from Africa, because we now know that with all my scholarly back to ministry and others, you can see that narrative here is incorrect. That we're not from Africa, that we're actually from America. My family then went to Ireland, Spain, sorry. Then we went across to Ireland, okay. Set up petty kingdoms, man. We had the kingdom of Alba, okay. I'm really flick through it. I haven't really read this properly, but I've just started to read it. Alright, so I'm just making my way through it, and anything that stood out, I just kind of underlined, man. So, alright, so you've got, I'm not going to read much of it, just a little bit. So, this book is by Oliviette Attali, African Europeans, but I'll cross out the African part because we now know we're not Africans, okay? Not all of us, anyway. So Geraldine Heng notes that although names such as Algonquins, Ishmaelites, Moors, and Saracens, that's a very interesting one, the Saracens, yeah, because in the Papa Bulls, it talks about the Muslims and the pagans and the Saracens, man, were used to refer to the Arab Christians. Arabs were not defined in the same way. As time went on, the term Saracen survived and came to be associated with negative traits. Like in the Papa Bulls of Public Declarations, it says, it's talking referring to us, like I told you before. Heng contends that those categorised as Saracens because of their religion did not respond in kind and homogenise all Christians, but instead recognise the diversity of religions and societies dominated by Christians. So remember the Christian Crusades that came in and they took us out of our lands, they raped, robbed and murdered us, they forced us into their ways, man. Just going to just flick through little bits of it. So the Crusaders, as Heng notes, carried a banner that symbolised their attachment to Christ. Yeah, the false JC, man. There's nothing to do with us. They perceived and defined themselves as the Christian race. Yeah, which Rome brought first, yeah. And then the Visigoths came over and attacked the Rome. You understand? They were working with Rome. Something was going on there, man. They didn't like how they were treated, so they took over Rome, man. The king of the Tars, the story of the fair princess, is forced to convert to Islam and marry a Muslim king. The child born from the union turns out to be an unhumane, look how I used to describe us, inhumane monster, only saved and physically transformed through baptism. The father, who was defined as black. Trust me, man. People are realising and making the link, like the person who made this book is realising, made the link to Europeans, but they're still hold on to the African narrative, man, that we're from Africa, which we're not, man. We're from the Americas, man. Webster's 1828 dictionary definition of what an American is. The copper-coloured cans found there by the Europeans. Don't forget that Christopher Columbus brought a Paleo-Hebrew, Aramaic-speaking interpreter, Hebrew interpreter, man, to communicate with the tribes already found there. like the erosion of the Roman Empire, that's Esau, yeah, and the invasion of the Roman-ruled provinces by the Goths, man, the Visigoths, the Lombards and the Franks, man, the Paler tribes, man, were followed by a relatively stable with the ascension to the power of Charlemagne in 800 CE. And you understand that the victors get to write history, don't they? Victors got to write history, man. This is Rome, the book of coins of England in the 40th edition. And you've got like the people that they're depicting on the coins are melanated, man. A lot of them are melanated, it's obvious. This is Maximus the First, 235 to 238 denarius. This is Rome. 539, Philip the First. There's Philip the First, swarthy, melanated looking man. Good book, man. African presence in the European courts during the Crusades was modest in extent, but consistent and long-lasting enough to be remembered and represented in various paintings. Yeah, because we were the original ones, we're not Africans though, man. And our stuff was whitewashed, okay? Spiritual reference for the expansion and celebration of the Christian faith, as well as powerful symbols of the status of the Roman Church. St. Maurice, now a patron of the Holy Roman, was the mark of things to come. So he was just Rome, he was swarthy, melanated. The last little bit and then I'll go to another book. The persecution of the Jewish community in the Middle Ages, for example, that's my people, man. Look, I want to read one more little bit after this. In England, a series of measures aimed at making the Jewish community more visible were passed. In 1215, the Church of England wanted Jews and Muslims to wear clothes that would differentiate themselves from the Christians. In 1218, the Jews were made to wear a badge. By 1222, they had to wear a revised version of that badge that had to be crafted by the authorities in England. So we are different, man. We're different people, man. We have different ways and customs, man. I want to show you something about Valencia, man. You mentioned Valencia. Remember I told you they played a big part in the massacres of the Jews in 1391, and it also mentions Valencia in here as well. That's why the Most High brought so much crazy flipping flooding and madness over there, man. And not just that, I'll show you a scripture in a minute as well, in Isaiah. I'll show you, where does it say about Valencia? Savage Irish, they're called a savage, man. You understand? To emerge and one day from their barbaric cocoon into a state of enlightened civilization. What the Visigoths and that enlightened us into your wickedness. The facades of Notre Dame Cathedral in the Rouen, France, clearly shows the execution of Saint John the Baptist carried out by an African. The image dates to 1260. It forms a stark contrast with the beheading of Saint John the Baptist. 1608 painting by Caravaggio, which shows a white man reaching behind his back for a knife as he presses a saint's head to the floor, man. And I swear down, man, one of the royal families that wore a badge. The Queen, she wore a badge, man. Queen of Japheth, man. Visigoths. Black saints appeared across Europe in the 12th century, mainly in the form of sculptures. Erin Kathleen Rowan has studied the emergence and significance of black saints in the medieval and early modern church, in particular black Madonnas. The Black Madonna, man. Oh, come on, show me where it is, man. Moses, look, also known as a black. Moses the Black, the Ethiopian, and so on, became an important figure in Western Castelli. Ethiopian Prester John, Prester meaning priest, John meaning king, a legendary king said to have ruled over the Eastern Christian nation, not a Christian, dodged the hijack, man, it's Israelite, man. Prester John ruled the three Indias, man. India superior, America's part of that, man, you understand? Travelled and provided a hopeful platform for the expansion of Christendom. No, not Christendom, dodged the hijack. The representation of black saints took a new turn remember the Portuguese search for Precious John for 400 years, man. Look, she argues that the scared blackness was constructed both by the clergy and the Afro-Iberians. Dodge the whole back. No, incorrect. Correct. Afro-Iberians, yeah. Afro-Iberians from Spain and Portugal. Me and my family, man, which we ruled, man. That's correct. Alright. Shut this door, mate. Alright, so let's pause it there, people. I'll be back. For part 2.